I'm clearly in the minority in that I like the first Suicide Squad. I definitely rated it too high. Like, it's not a 9 out of 10. Like, that's ridiculous. But, like, I just went back and watched that old video, and point by point, I wholeheartedly agree with almost all of that. Take this entire video with a grain of salt, then, because this guy liked the first one. This is, like, half a reboot, half a sequel, and it's really frustrating because it's still got some of the same characters, and then they clearly recast Will Smith Deadshot. Idris Elba's not Deadshot. Idris Elba's a new character. He's a black guy. He's the leader. He's got a gun specialty. He kills people for money. He's got a daughter. He's Deadshot. He's Deadshot. And it's so frustrating that this movie does that and then pretends that we won't notice, and it's like, where's Will Smith? Will Smith was one of the best parts of the last one. Where is he? And I did like this movie overall, but it is so frustrating that it is an obvious course correction response from the first one. It's like, well, the first Suicide Squad took itself too seriously. This one doesn't take itself seriously enough. This is a very over-the-top, very self-aware, quote-unquote, parody of a movie. The Suicide Squad is a full-on action comedy, and it's entertaining. I liked it. I had fun with it, but for goodness sakes, DC, grow a set, would you? Just pick a movie, pick a direction, and stick to it. Stop flip-flopping based on what the audience reaction was to your last movie. It's so pathetic. Like with the new Batman coming out, look, I don't care if it's dark, I don't care if it's funny, I don't care if it's serious, just please stick with it. I don't want to recast Batman again after 1.5 movies, for goodness sakes. And that is my biggest problem with this movie, is that the Batman v Superman timeline that started the DC universe and that the Suicide Squad carried right into was fairly grounded. Batman v Superman specifically was very grounded. That was a very gritty, realistic take at what humanity would do if superheroes showed up. This is not grounded at all. There are superheroes left and right everywhere. It is a self-ironic parody, and there's literal space gods and interdimensional, this movie has lost any semblance of reality. Idris Elba uses, like, floating nanotech part guns instead of just, like, actual guns. Like, I mean, like, Will Smith had a kind of futuristic wrist gun, and then he had a Glock, and then an AR-15, a style assault weapon that no American citizen needs. And it's rated R, because I guess every DC movie's rated R now, which, again, I don't have a problem with. I joke that, you know, I don't see nothing unless it's rated R, I don't play nothing unless it's rated M. And Suicide Squad is definitely a more reasonable thing to make rated R than the Justice League. Like, the over-the-top violence, because, you know, they're bad people, they're villains, they kill. Amanda Waller, you know, horrible shitbag, and they're not afraid to do dirty work and stuff, and they're all cussing because it's a prison. That makes sense. The violence and the language didn't bother me at all. And then a guy's dick flops out, and it's just like, what is this? Like, never did I think I'd see cock and balls in a DC movie. Oh, right, I guess there's Watchmen. That's different, you know it. They're trying to be Deadpool, and it's like, stop trying to be Deadpool. It's okay that you're not Deadpool, please. And in spite of the fact that he's an obvious replacement for Will Smith, Idris Elba's great, on his own. He's a hardcore badass, and he looks really, really good with a beret and a cigarette in his mouth. Idris Elba, keep it up, man. Harley Quinn is great. Again, if you can get past her annoying Boston, New York, whatever it is, Manhattan, Northeastern accent, other than that, she's great. And again, with an R rating, they're allowed to do a little more. They're allowed to push the boundaries of what Harley Quinn is. And that's one of the other issues I have, is that, I mean, the whole point is like, we're the bad guys, we're the villains, we're the evil people, and we will now do only good heroic things on screen. And this movie does a slightly better job of that. Like, there's a torture scene with Harley Quinn, which again, for an R-rated movie, still kind of soft, not gonna lie. But at least it tried. So there's a part where Idris Elba is just chopping through civilians with a machete, and that's like, yeah, okay, there you go. Because the bad guy, you know, alien face huggers people and uses them as like an army, so. But the movie feels obligated to redeem or make them the heroes by the end of the movie, the same way the 2016 one did, and it's, you don't have to do that. Isn't the whole point of the Suicide Squad that they're evil, villainous people, and Amanda Waller is using them for her own political personal gain? Isn't that the point? And it is especially unironically self-aware that John China is playing a guy who supposedly values peace and freedom and liberty. Yeah. So he does speak English now. Okay, I didn't realize that. Good for him. The shark character didn't really do anything for me. I didn't think he was all that funny. But the MVP award absolutely goes to Weasel. This legend, this hero, should be remembered for all time. Best part of the movie by far, and something else that, you know, that personally brought a tear to my eye, that made me very proud. And the future in this movie is a future we should strive towards. It is just truly great to see blacks, whites, Asians, Hispanics, mixed races, men and women, all together, all treated as equals, standing side by side, in the communist dictatorship of Cuba. In the evil, tyrannical, socialist South American regime, women are calling the shots on radios. That's a milestone that even we in the United States have unfortunately not reached yet. And in a post-Avengers Endgame world where Marvel's like exclusively doing, you know, TV series now, the Suicide Squad seems to me a property that would actually fit that rather well. If they wanted to have kind of a mini-series go for a few seasons where they do different missions and they swap out some of the characters, you know, and then they show kind of the life back home at prison. I feel in a more adult theme, a more adult tone, I'm okay. I feel like that would fit kind of well, but like the fake CGI flowers over some of the blood and like all of the writing in the background of the movie for the credits, like that didn't do anything for me. And I never reviewed it, but the animated Suicide Squad Hell to Pay one, I actually remember being pretty good. So if they want, again, this can be DC's Deadpool. This could be DC's darker tone, more adult themed. But the problem is, they're doing that for everything, and it's just like, kids aren't allowed to like Batman anymore, I guess. Okay, well, whatever. Decent movie, flawed movie. I like the first one more. Not gonna lie. Sorry. Not sorry.
Ratatouille, what do you got?
Bird.
Now it. Stay off the comm.